So we're back in our corn test plot here. It's been a couple weeks since we've been in this plot, since the tassel's been out, and we're just confirming how tasseling and pollination went out here. So you can kind of see from all these leaves, they got a lot of the sootiness here. That's the pollen shed that we had. We had a really good pollen shed considering how gooseneck this corn is. You can see there was some damage from the wind and the hail that we had out here a couple weeks ago. This should be okay yet at that point, but it's something to be a little concerned about. And you can see we got a few leaves right here from a handful of different plants. You can see maybe just the start of some gray leaf spot at that point. And so you can see that lesion really is kind of real boxy. So that's what gray leaf spot will be, more of a boxy lesion versus the cigar shape that we see in northern corn leaf blight. Now, I'm not as concerned about this as I maybe would be if this was not treated. This field was treated over the weekend with Trivapro, 13.7 ounces of that. We did it with our helicopter while he was in the area the other day, and just to make sure that we're maxing out our bushels. The other thing is just wanted to make sure that these corn plants are growing up a little bit more. And why don't you come on down here, Brady? You can see this gooseneck corn is a modern marvel when it comes to how it's trying to keep itself upright. You can see these brace roots are all on one side here. They're not even putting a brace root up there. And you can even see this one right here. He's trying to put a brace root off of this node here. This corn's going to do everything possible to try to stand itself up and keep itself upright, which is just awesome to see. We'll see how this harvests, but it is doing its darndest to try to keep itself upright at this point. So last thing, this is an ear I just pulled before we started recording. I just want to see where pollination is at on this thing. So you can see there's some brown silks at that point. That means, brown silk means that kernel has been pollinated completely. So that meant that the pollen gram went right to the ear, to the seed itself, and has pollinated that specific seed. There is one silk for each kernel on this corn plant. So I'm just being very careful here because this is very delicate. So one of the best ways to see if we had good pollination is to kind of tip it upside down and kind of do the shake test. And you can see there a lot of the silks have disconnected off of here already. So we've already pollinated this corn. And just to see what we got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We got 16 around on this. So 16 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 35 to here. And I'm not counting the end, obviously, because we're not sure how much of this is pollinated, but it looks like most of it's going to be pollinated. So 16 by 35, and boy, this is some entertainment right here. If you guys are watching this, and while I'm doing a video recording and doing something on my calculator, you guys are committed. We're probably talking about 230 to 240 for yield potential if this is at about a 35,000 final stand. So we have corn potential out here at this point. The corn plants themselves are not pretty, but this makes it a good reason to make sure we're doing the right thing when we're talking about harvest. So it's going to be something to go after at that point. Just a quick hitter on the other crop, the soybeans. We are starting to see some aphids out there. The counts haven't been real high, but they're starting to be a lot easier to find. A lot of 10 to 15 to 20 counts per plant. That's well below the 250 threshold, but we're also starting to see some guys starting to put some fungicide out there and on the soybeans, because there is plenty of leaf disease out there, plenty of eye spot and stuff, but starting to see some guys pulling the trigger on that here today and the rest of the week. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. We still got a couple weeks to worry about the soybean aphids. And we'll probably talk about soybeans next week. Hopefully we see some good progression on some things, and we can go from there. If you got any questions or anything, please give me or one of the other Northern Country agronomists a call, and we'll catch you next time.